A very good afternoon, galaxy of intellectual guests, professors, and students. I, Kajal Zain, on behalf of Prestige Institute of Management and Research, Dewas, welcome you all at our third International Conference's valedictory session. I invite all the dignitaries for the lamp lighting ceremony. Sir, please join us for the lamp lighting ceremony. Now I request Dr. Ashima Joshi to give a floral welcome to Ms. Vanita Hariharan ma'am. Now I request Vikas Sharma sir to give a floral welcome to Mr. Radha Mohan Das ji. I request Dr. Jyotsna Soni to give a floral welcome to Mr. Suhas Sushant Das ji. Now I request Dr. Yogen Singh Rajawat sir to give a floral welcome to Mr. Divyansh Rastogi sir. Now I request Neelam Nayak ma'am to give a floral welcome to Nishan Joshi sir. I request Aditi ma'am to give a floral welcome to Mr. Shreyansh sir. Sorry sir. Siddharth Rajan sir. Sorry sir. I request Dr. Ajit Upadhyay sir to give a floral welcome to Mr. Dewas Jain sir. I again request Dr. Yogen Singh Rajawat sir to give a floral welcome to Himanshu sir. I request Archana ma'am to give a floral welcome to Madhav Mantri sir. I request Priya ma'am to please welcome Rakesh Jain sir. Thank you. May I now request for the Institute's presentation?
Prestige Education Society, in its endeavor to develop highly skilled human resource, established the first Management Institute in Indore in 1994. The Management Institutes of Gwalior and Mandsaur were established in 1997. In 2001, with AICTE permission, the Institute of Mandsaur was shifted to Dewas at its permanent site for better service, coverage and local penetration. Prestige Institute of Management and Research Dewas is conceived as a value-based institution of management and information technology and training. The institute was launched with the solemn objective of spreading knowledge-based education and developing skilled manpower beyond the metros, catering to the educational and training needs of a large number of young boys and girls irrespective of caste, creed and nationality they belong to. Prestige Education Foundation, formerly known as Prestige Education Society, is running its academic institutions in 3 major cities of Madhya Pradesh, heartland of India. Prestige Education Foundation is running the prominent institutions PIMR PG, PIMR UG, PIEMR and Prestige Public School at Indore City, PIMR Gwalior and PIMR Dewas, along with Prestige Public School Dewas, under the stewardship of Founder Chairman of PEF Honorable Shri Nemnath Ji Jain, Padma Shri Awardee. The Chairman and Chancellor of PEF, respected Dr. Devish Ji Jain, and his worthy younger brother, respected Shri Dipin Ji Jain, Vice Chairman PEF, Shri Himanshu Ji Jain, Director PEF, and Shri Ketan Ji Jain, Director PEF. PIMR Dewas is advancing and instilling values into the stakeholders with vision to be leader in professional education, training, research and development, and mission to serve for its MBA program and is affiliated with Vikram University Ujjain for MBA, BBA and BCA, BCom, Computer Application, BCom, Honors. It is a fully recognized management and IT institution. PIMR Dewas is a recognized research center for management discipline. The first PhD course work successfully conducted in the year 2023. The PIMR is having intellectual strength of 20 full-time regular faculty, 6 visiting faculty, 4 faculties having PhD degree, 5 faculties are pursuing PhD from different universities. PIMR Dewas is extending its extension services to the corporate world like Management Development Program, Executive Development Program and trainings to the employees for soft skills and communication-related issues. The senior faculty of PIMR Dewas is an executive body of international and national universities, as in Board of Studies, PhD Thesis Evaluation Board, and in Committee of Editorial Board of reputed journals. The faculties of PIMR Dewas were also invited as keynote speakers, guest speakers, resource persons for FDPs, trainers and practicing consultancies for different academic and social organizations.
I'm Professor Dr. Ajit Upadhyay, Director, Prestige Institute of Management and Research, Dewas. Our institution is affiliated to the Vikram University Ujjain and approved by the MP Higher Education, Bhopal, and also accredited by the AICTE, All India Council for Technical Education, New Delhi.
PIMR Dewas Library is fully equipped with physical and digital repository for knowledge sharing and acquisition. The online database like EBSCO, JGate, DAILIT, InflibNet, CMI database, and software for plagiarism testing Turnitin is available for students, faculties, and researchers. PIMR Dewas Library is having national and international journals, magazines, monographs, books, newspapers, and rare books. PIMR Dewas Computer Lab is well equipped with application software Microsoft Windows 10, Microsoft Office, Oracle Java, Visual Studio, IDE like Eclipse, IntelliJ, TextPad, Notepad, PyCharm, WebEx and Zoom. PIMR Dewas has been an examination center for prominent examinations for different bodies like ICAI, for CA and CS examination, CUET, JEE and NEET. PIMR Dewas is regularly conducting FDPs like 1-week National Case Writing Workshops, 1-week National Research Methodologies Workshops, 21 days Faculty Development Program Gyanubhav, weekly Faculty Knowledge Advancement Workshops, presentation, symposium, Industry Institute interface, discussion with different boards has been conducted for years. PIMR Dewas is having MOU and associations with global institutions, national institutions, governmental bodies and NGO. PIMR Dewas is having active association with All India Management Association, New Delhi. Association of Indian Management Schools, Sikandarabad. Association of Management Development in South Asia, Hyderabad. The institute is certified ISO 9001 to 2015. The institute is certified training center for ITI, Dewas. Indore Management Association, Indore. Member of Association of Industries, Dewas. MOU with Center for Entrepreneurship Development, Madhya Pradesh. MOU with Research Foundation of India. PIMR Dewas has been consistently ranked amongst top B school in a survey done by the top magazines and newspaper. RBBA course ranked 29th Outlook in 2022, 2021, 40th India Today in 2022, 28th India Today in 2020, RBCA course 46th India Today in 2022 and 45th India Today in 2021. RMBA course ranked 8th Central Zone Wise Outlook, 24th amongst affiliated colleges Outlook, 44th Education World, 30th Zone Wise Open Magazine, 34th Private College The Week, 41 at B School West Zone Wise The Week, and in Madhya Pradesh consistently amongst top 5 B school. Recognized in the band performance under the category General Inatal Ranking of Institution on Innovation and Achievement in 2021. PIMR Dewas is also working as a host institute for MSME. PIMR Dewas students participated and won in the Global Peace and Sustainable Summit 2022 powered by UNESCO amongst 70 countries as the best speakers. PIMR Dewas is the only center for the Youth Employment Program of TCS, which is free employability training for socially and economically marginalized undergraduate youth program during their graduation. PIMR Dewas is an active member of Institute Innovation Council Delhi with 3.5 star rating in the year 2022. We are committed for overall development of our students through different clubs constituted at our institute like Marketing Club, Finance Club, HR Club, IT Club, Eco and Energy Club, Readers Club, Health and Fitness Club, PIMR Rotary Club and Sports Club. These clubs keep organizing various events for students' knowledge updating, improvement and exposures to the real business world. Events like AdMad Show, brand quizzes, mock stock exchange, entrepreneurial fest, seminars, panel discussion, industrial visits, extramural lectures, case study and business research. Besides this, PIMR Dewas organizes annual Management Fest Utsav full of enthusiasm, knowledge, fun and frolic, music and entertainment. PIMR Dewas also organizes creativity workshops, case study analysis workshop, business plan workshop and national contest, National Summer Internship Project Contest. The yoga and fitness activity is being organized by Fitness Club. PIMR Dewas NSS unit organizes blood donation camp, charity programs like fundraising for blind schools, adoption of villages, promoting literacy, adult education and cleanliness drive at Dewas city. Woman is the backbone of family life. Here at PIMR, the Women Empowerment Cell is running various activities for women awareness and their overall development. The sports club organizes indoor and outdoor games for all students like chess, cricket, badminton, volleyball, football, etc. Some of the students won the laurel for PIMR Dewas at university, state and national level. PIMR Training and Placement Cell organizes GDPI and developmental programs for students like communication development workshop, aptitude test, and grooming session as per requirement of in and off-campus drive, resume writing workshop, email etiquettes workshop, language skill workshops from renowned internationally acclaimed trainer who got exposure of 11 countries. PIMR Training and Placement Cell also organizes alumni meet in which students from different batches since 2001 have been participating, and PIMR Training and Placement Cell has been consistently providing more than 100 brands and organizations a platform for recruitment of business brains at our campus. Recently, some of our students also received an offer ranging from 8 lakhs per annum to 13 lakhs per annum, an industrial excursion in the renowned companies such as Tata International Private Limited, Prism Johnson, Prestige Agrotech, Sachi Industries, Kirloskar, Gabriel, and many more. PIMR Dewas aspires to be the autonomous institution with highest grades amongst top B schools of Central India. Prestige Education Foundation and Prestige Institute of Management and Research Dewas welcome you all.
A pessimist complains about the wind, an optimist tries to change it, and a leader adjusts the sail. The sail for this particular session were adjusted by a person none other than our beloved director, sir. To give a red carpet welcome to everyone, I request Professor Dr. Ajit Upadhyay, sir, to welcome.
Jai Mata Di. Today we are not only at the closing ceremony, it's a conclusive ceremony. And in a conclusive ceremony, we not only express the thank, but in India, this is also the welcomeable. So I take this opportunity to extend my heartfelt welcome to our Honorable Chairman of Prestige Education Foundation and Chancellor of Prestige University, Dr. Dewas Ji Jain, Shri Himanshu Ji Jain, Director, Prestige Education Foundation, Madam Ms. Vinita Hariharan, renowned and eminent policy leader of the country and who registered her presence globally, Mr. Suhas Sushant Das, who is the head of the North Indian region of Volvo Trucks Commercial, Prabhuji Shri Radha Mohan Das Ji, who is a radar engineer, IITian, and head of the Gurukul system of ISKCON, our proud alumnus and a Shan of the Prestige Institute of Management Dewas, Shri Divyansh Rastogi Ji, Head Vice President Visit India, Mr. Siddharth Ji Rajhans, whom you yesterday listened with choices and he would have gladdened all your senses. Shri Rakesh Ji Jain, motivator, whose jadoo today spill over all of us in session on a national education policy, boons and challenges. Dr. Nishant Joshi Ji, our friend and director of Prestige Institute of Management and Research, Gwalior. Shri Madhav Mantri Ji, Principal, Prestige Public Schools, Madam Ashima Joshi ji, Special Manager Officers to the Chancellor's Office, and our Associate Professor and Head of the Department of HR and OB, respected other Head of the Departments, all devoted faculties of Dewas unit, dear delegates, and my students. The theme of the conference was on the technology, innovation and management and how they are going to impact upon the social and organizational transformation. We all know the Vidya Amritam Shunate, and we all know that nothing is better than knowledge. Nothing is better than knowledge. It means nahi jnane sadrasham pavitra mihi vidyate. It's been cited into the Bhagavad Gita. During these 2 days conversations, when I asked to somebody else who is experts into these fields, IT, innovations, and the transformations, what's the purpose of the conference? Conference provides us a platform to interact with the different knowledge body, organizations, individuals, researchers, with their thoughts, research, papers. It provides you various inputs for updation, upgradations, improvisations of your paper, for the purpose of the socializations, for the purpose of the upgradations, for the purpose of the upliftment of the poor, not only in our country but globally. And I think this conference is slightly successful. I can't say totally successful, because the many conferences have different types of the themes. And nowadays it's a fashion, mushroomed across the country, that at a time there are 100 conferences are organized, not only India but globally. Most of the speakers are the same, the research are the same, but I am here confirmed and believe that the deliberations are different. And these deliberations always guide us on a path of improvement. It keeps our toe and ourselves on a ground, and that's the beauty of the education. It's far beyond from the areas. You can see the galaxy of speakers here. They are coming from varieties of background, whether it's a spiritualism, or it's a regional, or it's a religion, or it's a IT, services, logistics, operations. Wherever you go, you find that our lives is transformed tremendously. And these lives actually reflected in the different walk of life. When you go on a road, you talk about transportations. When you go to the stadium or you are watching the television, different type of the social media sources, analytics, then the data refining, and using them for the even the upliftment. All the bodies globally working for the human developments, human cause, human service, they all are devoted. The time has changed, the individuals have changed, and even the teaching pedagogy, the style of receiving the education in the classroom has also been changed. And we have to look with a more fresh look towards the world, and these fresh looks be shared. And today I do not want to come in between you and these galaxies speakers. They have something to share with you. Their public life, their field exercise, and different types of the contribution to the societies are commendable, appreciable, and noteworthy. And I think each one of us are ready to listen to them. During these conferences, we organized the WIS PhD thesis contest. During this conference, we provided our students a national level contest for business plan contest, for a summer internship project contest, and for the best research paper contest, just instilling the value of research into our students right from this age, because this is very delicate and tantalizing age where you can divert, deviate, or you can be on a track. We had 4 tracks that we combined into 2 tracks, keeping into mind the versatility of the tracks and even our session chair. And I think our conference secretary will throw some light upon it. I welcome all of you, and I think That transformation has to be discussed even for the 7 and 8 hours continuously, but it's not over. But the beauty of this conference that we have is speakers who will try to consummate everything in just 15 minutes. And I'll request all of you to bind to the time and also provide a great opportunity to our students. And I once again welcome all of you. This is the beginning of one of the conferences. You will face many of such activities where your real grooming will start right now. Thanks indeed to all of you. And I welcome all of you from Prestige Education Foundation and Prestige Institute of Management Research, Dewas. Thanks indeed all.
Thank you, sir. May I now request to play the AV of Mr. Himanshu Jain?
Mr. Himanshu Jain. Mr. Himanshu Jain is a third-generation entrepreneur who has innovated the animal feed business and has opened up export possibilities and businesses across the globe. He inherits the lineage from his grandfather, Padma Shri Dr. N.N. Jain, founder of Prestige Group of Industries, a conglomerate business group with over 40 years of glorious existence. Mr. Jain is a dynamic and energetic business professional with an experience of over 15 years in product innovation, new business development, and strategic turnaround, especially in the domain of agri and food verticals. He has successfully steered operations and management of food and allied businesses in Ambala, Haryana and Dewas for over 2 decades, apart from his turnaround stint in launching and spearheading cattle feed vertical of Prestige Agrotech Private Limited. Currently, he is leading the strategic execution of international operations and establishment of agri and feed business in Dubai. Sir is techno-savvy and has conviction that new age technology like AI, ML and quantum computing will change the landscape of business and education worldwide. He has been instrumental in introducing technology and software interface in the educational institutions of Prestige Education Foundation for enhanced teaching and learning experience. With his avid interest in technology, he is also venturing into new age drone tech business applications and digital e-learning blended education platforms. With his global approach to business, he also mentors startups on business model canvas and technology applications. He is an angel investor, startup coach, an enthusiast, and a strong believer that new gen Indian startups will set novel panorama worldwide. Mr. Himanshu Jain is a humble, down-to-earth, forward-looking young entrepreneur with global outlook and new age perspective for holistic prosperity, craving his own niche in the illustrious business family. Currently, he is serving as director on board of Prestige Group of Industries and Prestige Education Foundation. We welcome you, sir.
Now I request Himanshu sir for his address.
Dear distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues and dear students, it is a great pleasure to welcome you all to the valedictory ceremony of the 3rd International Conference organized by Prestige Institute of Management and Research, Dewas, on the theme Technology, Innovation and Management for Organizational and Social Transformation. I would like to extend my warmest welcome to the esteemed panel of speakers, our chairman Dr. Dewas Jain sir, Ms. Vinita Hariharan, Shri Radha Mohan Das ji, Mr. Suhas Sushant Das, Mr. Divyansh Rastogi, our PIMR Dewas Director Dr. Ajit Upadhyay, PIMR Gwalior Director Dr. Nishan Joshi, Dr. Ashima Joshi, convener of the international conference being held here, Mr. Madhav Mantri, Principal PPS, Dewas, This conference is a platform for us to come together and exchange ideas and insight on the latest trend and best practices in the field of technology, innovation and management. Today, we have with us a group of distinguished experts from various fields who will share their knowledge and experience with us. It is my great honor to acknowledge the founder chairman of Prestige Group, my revered grandfather, Dr. N. Jain, Padma Shri awardee, who laid the foundation of this institute 25 years ago. His unwavered vision, perseverance and dedication have transformed this institution into a recognized leader in the field, with a reputation that extends across the nation. It is no small feat to build an institution of this caliber and reputation. The challenges and obstacles that he must have overcome are truly commendable. His hard work, commitment and leadership, and it is a testament to his vision that this institute has achieved such great success over the past 25 years, and today we are here to celebrate the silver jubilee of PIMR Dewas. As we gather here today, it is important to reflect on the remarkable strides that technology has made over the past few decades. We are living in an era where technology has revolutionized every aspect of our lives, from the way we communicate to the way we work and even to the way we think. The advent of new technologies have brought about a paradigm shift in the way business operates, and this has led to a significant transformation of the organizational landscape. As we all know, technology, innovation and management play an increasingly important role in driving organization and social transformation. The rapid pace of technological advancement is changing the way we live, work and communicate. It is important for business and organization to keep up with these changes in order to remain competitive. For instance, in automotive industry, self-driving cars are reality today, with companies like Tesla, Google and Uber investing heavily in the development of autonomous driving technology. The implementation of these technology is not only expected to make driving safe, but also reduce traffic congestion and improve fuel efficiency. These advancements in technology have not only transformed the way we travel, but also created new business opportunities in the automotive industry. Example of this transformative power of technology can be seen in the healthcare industry. With the advent of wearable technology, remote patient monitoring and telemedicine, healthcare delivery has undergone a significant transformation. Today, patients can receive medical care from the comfort of their home, and doctors can remotely monitor their patients' health, reducing the need of hospitals. This has not only improved patient outcome but also have reduced healthcare costs. One example of how technology and innovation can transform industry is the rise of the sharing economy. Companies like Airbnb and Uber have disrupted traditional industries such as hospitality and transportation by using technology to connect people who need a place to stay or a ride with people who can provide those services. We can see another example in the area of technology is that the use of big data and artificial intelligence in healthcare. By analyzing large amount of patients' data, healthcare providers can identify patterns and trends that can help make them more accurate diagnosis and develop more effective treatment. In the field of management, there are numerous examples of companies that have transformed their organizational structure in order to be more agile and responsive to the changing market conditions. For example, companies like Sapo and Buffer have adopted Holacracy, a management system that replaces traditional hierarchy structure with a more fluid and decentralized approach. These examples I have mentioned demonstrate the transformative power of technology, innovation, and management in industries as diverse as hospitality, transportation, healthcare, and management. As we gather here today to share our alumni of this institute, many of whom have achieved great success in their career, including those in the industry who are at a great position. It is a testament to the quality of education and training provided by this institute that its alumni are making such significant contribution to the industry and to the nation. I hope that this conference will provide us all with the opportunity to learn from each other and share our ideas and experiences. Let us work together towards the goal for organizational and social transformation through technology, innovation, and management. Once again, I offer my heartfelt congratulations to the Director, Dr. Ajit Upadhyay, conference organizing team, students, staff, and alumni for this special occasion, and thank you all for participating.
Thank you, Kajal ma'am. I welcome you all to the third International Conference on Technology, Innovation and Management for Organization and Social Transformation. I'm delighted to present a report on the conference proceeding. The conference focused on exploring the theme of the technology, innovation and management and their potential to bring about organization and social transformation. The conference was comprised of 49 paper presentations spread across 4 technical sessions merged into 2 sessions on marketing, HR, finance and IT. In addition to the paper presentation, we also launched on abstract book named Saransh, which contained all the abstract of the paper presented during the conference. Along with the abstract book, we released 2 status papers, one focused on technology, innovation and management for organization and social transformation with special emphasis on the IT industry, and other on the same theme with their focus on the aviation industry. We also released PACE, Journal of Research of Prestige Institute of Management and Research, Dewas. This journal is a highly regarded publication in the field of management and provided a platform for scholars and researchers to showcase their work, exchange ideas and engage in a fruitful discussion. Overall, this publication and paper added value to the conference, allowing attendees to gain insight into the latest trends, development and research in the field of technology, innovation and management and organization social transformation. As a part of our efforts to promote academician and students' engagement and participation, we organized several activities during the conference. These activities include the Student National Summer Internship Contest, the Student National Research Paper Contest, the National Business Plan Competition for the Student, and the Best Research Paper Award for all press and the Best PhD Award. We were thrilled to see students and academics from different regions taking part and contributing to the conference success. The third international conference had an impressive lineup of speakers who provided valuable insight in the conference theme. Dr. Akhilesh Kumar Pandey presented focused on the use of technology in various fields, highlighting the advancement and innovation that have been made in the recent year. Dr. Samuel John Ferreira de Souza presented centered on how technology, innovation and management are changing the supply chain industry and how these changes are creating new opportunity for business to operate more efficiently and effectively. Mr. Siddharth Rajhans emphasizes the conference theme, providing an overview of the importance of this concept in today's rapidly changing business environment. Mr. Ramesh Jain provided a brief overview of the conference topic. Mr. Dewas Jain sir highlighted the potential of technology and innovation to bring about social transformation, discussing the way in which new technologies can be used to address societal challenges and create new opportunity for social development. Mr. Shriyansh Bhandari also highlighted conference theme. The keynote speaker, Dr. Pawan Kumar Singh, provided a comprehensive view of the conference theme, discussing the various ways in which technology innovation are changing the business landscape and driving societal transformation. Overall, the conference speaker provided a diverse range of perspective on the conference theme, showcasing the importance of our technology innovation in driving social organization and social transformation. And today, in our validity session, our esteemed speakers such as Ms. Vinita Hariharan ma'am, Shri Radha Mohan Das ji, Mr. Anadi Upadhyay sir, Mr. Sushant Das sir, Mr. Divyansh Rastogi sir, have shared their will share the valuable thought on the topic and will contribute to the overall success of the conference. I would like to extend my gratitude to the conference chairperson, Professor Dr. Ajit Upadhyay sir, conference convener Dr. Ashima Joshi ma'am, Dr. Yogendra Singh Rajawat sir, and all the faculty members who worked hard and dedicated their time and effort to making this conference a renowned success. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We are now request for the AD of Radha Mohan Das ji.
Mr. Radha Mohan Das is a youth counselor and corporate advisor, eloquent speaker on Vedic literatures like Bhagavad Gita, etc. Sir is trained in communication, meditation, leadership and time management. Mr. Das scored 99.9 percentile in GATE examination. He is alumni of IIT Delhi, former manager at ISKCON Pune and radar engineer at Bharat Electronic Limited, Government of India. Sir is initiator of many forums like Leadership Development Course, Gita All Made Easy and Youth of God's Abode. We welcome you, sir.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Is it visible to all of you? Yes, sir. Okay, thank you. First of all, I would like to thanks to the management of Prestige Institute. Actually, I am little bit personal. That's why can I use this forum? Okay, thank you. So, first of all, I would like to thanks to the management of Prestige Institute that giving me an opportunity to speak on the technology, innovation and management on the organizational and the social transformation. So as the sir, Himanshu sir was explaining beautifully how the technology and innovation creating an impact on the social transformation. And one beautiful verse cited by our sir, Ajit sir from the Bhagavad Gita, it reminds me a story from Mahabharata. Have you heard about Mahabharata? Yes. Is there anyone who doesn't know about Mahabharata? Everyone knows. So in Mahabharata, when Dhritarashtra was little nervous and he doesn't have a sleep in the night. कभी कभी होता है हमारे रात को नींद नहीं आती, कहते ना मेरी नींद गई, मेरा चैन गया. Similarly, Dhritarashtra was also not able to sleep, and at that time he called a Vidura. It makes an important point. See, the scriptures are not just a fact, they create an impact in our life. What I learned from there, any one person should have in our life, because revealing is the first step of healing. Revealing is the first step of healing. And then Vidura said what our Ajit sir told, the suffering has to be removed by the knowledge. So that's why, let us see. So when I was coming here, I was thinking what to speak about technology. Should I speak about the missile technology when I was in DRDO and Bharat Electronics Limited? Or I was thinking talk about the radar technology, what to speak. So then I started thinking about that. If we want to bring the changes in the society, we have to bring changes in our life. And I found that today technology, the selfie, everywhere if you will see, even in the temple people come, they take the selfie from the Lord. Selfie, the self within the selfie. So this technology, if you remove the selfie minus self, I.E. Now this technology and the innovation they provide, the entertainment and the information. Now the 5-year-old child has so much information that 50 years back, when the doctor or the engineer or the great person might not have that information. And this information is helping us also. How it is helping us? We can choose a better career. We can know about the many things. Similarly, the entertainment, we see the entertainment, the entertainers are getting the highest prices, isn't it? And we feel that there should be entertainment. But still, after all this information, entertainment, we still do not get satisfaction. Why? Because the technology and innovation, they speak about the information and entertainment, but they don't speak about the IE, intention and emotion. Why? Why intention is very important? We find in today's cultural or in relationship issues, many times our action would be good, but our intention might not be. Or many times our intention would be good, but action may not be. And we get confused. फिर हम समझाने लग जाता है समय कि मेरा इंटेंशन अच्छा था. Similarly, the emotion, so much emotions that is in the psychology is called a mood swing. Many times we have so much mood swings, even we don't know what moods we will have in the next 5 minutes. And therefore the Vidura says, if you want to know the knowledge, the real knowledge begins with the identity. Who am I? Let me take you 5,000 years back. One great personality, his name was Arjuna. Have you heard the name of Arjuna? Yes. Okay. the great technologician, I would like to say. In that, the Arjuna was such a great archer, such a great manager, because I would have just 5-10 minutes more, I don't know. So I could not explain you how is the psychological character of Arjuna. If I would like to speak, it will take 7-day seminar. How the Arjuna is so important character. But when he has such a technology and the innovation and the manager, greatest manager, still when he saw his own relatives in the battlefield, he got perplexed. He said he has the equipment to fight the war, but the will to fight the war was gone. And there, when he asked Krishna, what is my duty? You will find in the Gita, Krishna not explain about the duty, first he explained about the identity. Because unless we don't know who am I, what is my identity, we cannot redefine what is our duty. And that's why you will see that technology in itself is not a bad. Like we all have a guided missiles, but what about the unguided mind? Like there is a knife. How many of you think that knife is a great tool in a positive sense? Okay, some. And in negative way? It depends. Like in our home, we can use for cutting vegetables. A doctor can be used as a surgeon. A surgeon can use it for surgery purpose. But the same knife can be used for killing someone. And that's why the Krishna explains the greatest technology, the greatest tools which we have is the mind. And therefore, now you will see why you are saying about technology, how the technology is very important in the jet age. Many youth ask me, they say, Swamiji, you are talking about so much about the spirituality. What is the use of spirituality? See, the communication has become so wireless, isn't it? Now we are not using some wire like a mobile communication. Similarly, cooking has become a wireless. Car has become a keyless. Sugar has become a sugarless. Now the free sugar is coming. The sugar with free sugar. And many things is reducing less and less. I told, let us look back. Something more is increasing in less and less. Our attitude is becoming careless. Argument is becoming baseless. Relationship is becoming meaningless. Youth is becoming jobless. Our salary is becoming less and less. Our need is becoming endless. Life is becoming hopeless because we are becoming godless. That's why our founder Acharya is Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. You will see he has created, before explaining how he has created impact, let us look that like we dial a number. We don't know what is going on behind it. We just a number and said, hello friend, how are you? We don't go in that so much detail. Similarly, when we chant, when we do yajna, we call a higher cosmic power. There is a lot of things which you can see, like our temples, they will be in the triangle shape. Why? They are focused on one point. That cosmic power. And that's why you will see in 1966, when our ISKCON, which was founded by our Srila Prabhupada Desi Bhaktivedanta Swami, he has created such an impact in the Western countries. Now these are not some, you will find out great personalities like, oh, they are just hippies. And what a miracle he has created. He made the hippie happy. That is the greatest social transformation he has created at that time. 50 years back. Like 500 years back, the Krishna has created an impact. 50 years back, Srila Prabhupada has created an impact. And 5 years back, when we started Bhaktivedanta Vidya Bhavan Gurukul, we also thought, let us use the technology so that we can empower our children, those who are tomorrow's the great leader for our society. And we have created an innovation. I am just mentioning one innovation. Like you will see our Gurukul children, they are distributing the books. Now in the Vedic age, the Gurukul children used to go to the bed for the arms for the teacher. Do you know why? Because they learned what communication. I tell my children, don't just grow in university, grow in diversity. That's why I take them from the South India to North India. इडली सांभर खाना भी सीख लो, आलू के पराठे भी खाना सीख लो. Because then we understand, when we communicate with the people, then we understand. It is not that every time the poor person is good or the richer person is bad, or richer person is good or poor person is bad. They learn the communication. And this is our little effort in creating a social transformation by using the technology and innovation. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. May I now request to play the AV of Ms. Vinita Hariharan.
Ms. Vinita Hariharan, Public Policy Leader. Ms. Vinita Hariharan is an enthusiastic public speaker and a thought leader in diverse issues of nation building. She is an alumnus of the School of Planning and Architecture, New Delhi, and completed her Masters in Public Administration from the Lee Kuan Yew School of Public Policy, National University of Singapore on a scholarship from the Singapore government. She worked for a decade in leading private and public sectors of the country. Ms. Vinita Hariharan has been associated with various multilateral and bilateral agencies with the Government of India, where she designed national policies and led the implementation of several flagship programs of like Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Rurban Mission, formalization of micro enterprises, raising and accelerating MSME performance being some of the key flagship programs. Her most recent assignment with the Government of India was with the Ministry of MSME as Chief of Programs handling externally aided missions. Ms. Vinita Hariharan is on the board of studies of leading global institutes and a mentor to social foundations that work towards empowering women and the girl child. Ms. Vinita was recently given the Woman of Excellence Award from the Indian Achievers Forum for her outstanding contributions to the field despite all hurdles. We welcome you, ma'am.
Now it's the time for honoring Ms. Vinita Hariharan with Women Leadership Award in Public Policy. I request Director Sir Dewas Sir and Himanshu Sir to present the award.
Before Dewas honor ma'am, I would recite her award. When you talk about the women and when you talk about the public, there are something is common. Women is ultimately has been a leader. I don't think that we are empowering them, they are already empowered. We are today placed that on the occasion of Navratri, we are again presenting you as one of the Devi before you. Ma'am, who is not only is very aware about herself, she is aware about her rights, she is aware about the country, and she is aware about the concerns of the common man. And that's why
even she is working on a higher strategic position with the top companies of the world, but she chose to serve the nation. And that's why we, Prestige Education Foundation and the Prestige Institute of Management and Research has chosen her as one of the choice for Women Leadership in Public Policy Award. Now I am here reading the recitation for her. The Prestige Institute of Management and Research, Dewas, is proud to present the Women Leadership in Public Policy Award to Ms. Vinita Hariharan, Public Policy Leader, Thought Leader on diverse issues of nation buildings for empowering women and girl child in implementing flagship programs of Government of India in the domain of rural and urban livelihoods. Congratulations, ma'am.
Dewas, sir, I also request you to present the memento to Radha Mohan Das ji. Due to some urgency, Radha Mohan sir has to leave. Blessed to have you, sir. Now I request Ms. Vinita Hariharan to deliver her address.
Greetings to all. Namaskar. Indeed, a very big honor and privilege to be given this prestigious award from such a prestigious institute as the Prestige Institute of Management. I'm indeed really honored and privileged. I think it's the cumulative efforts over the past so many years that we've contributed to nation building, which is by choice and not by force. So it's a passion that has been bred, I think, from a childhood. So one needs to have a passion to go beyond survival and beyond livelihood, and look at all the people out there who really need your help and efforts and outreach. And if you're able to do that, I think that's one of the purposes that you can identify for yourself as a lifetime mission. And as Dr. Radha Mohan ji just now said, what about the self and what about who I am? I think that is the entire pursuit which we all have to identify early in our lives. It doesn't come easy. It comes with a lot of effort, and you may have to face a lot of challenges on the way. And but I think one should not get cowed down by these challenges and get disheartened by all the setbacks that you face in life. And so it's only the setbacks that actually help you to identify who you are. And that was my journey of transformation. And it was along the way that I was with various organizations. I started my career as an engineer. And I soon realized that I don't want to be an engineer. I want to go beyond engineering and do something at a macro level, which is on planning and policies. And since I did a civil engineering course, I didn't want to steer away from civil engineering, because you pass through a lot of competitive exams and get a seat in a government college, and you don't want to waste that seat and waste the government's money. So I decided to do a course in urban planning and policy from the School of Planning and Architecture in New Delhi, which is also related to engineering and civil engineering, but more of a policy level, macro level understanding of issues related to engineering. And after which I worked with the public sector for almost a decade with the Housing and Urban Development Corporation, and then I realized that that's not a place where I want to be, although all the comforts of a public sector is too difficult to sacrifice. But then if one has to perform, one has to really move on and move out of the comfort zones. That is when I decided to do a course in public policy from the Lee Kuan Yew School, where I was honored with a scholarship. And that was a paradigm shift in my journey, wherein I actually was able to learn from global leaders across various countries on public policy issues and how they've tackled various public policy issues across the world. And I came back with an understanding that we are not very different from the rest of the globe. It's only when you compare with other countries, till then you think that it's only in our country that we have issues. So that was way back then in sometime around 2010, when we were still grappling with a lot of infrastructure issues in our country, and I used to wonder, why is it that only our country is suffering and we don't have good roads, we don't have good facilities, we don't have toilets for our poor. So, but then you realize that various other countries have gone through this period, like Singapore back in the 60s was completely a slum-filled, infested city-state. And it was only through enforcement and leadership and good public policies that actually transformed Singapore to what it is today, which is like driving the world's economy, so to speak. So, today when we present our facts, so then I realized that India is no different, but then the way they handle the challenges, the case studies which we imbibed from there was truly enlightening, and it was only through simple steps of policy design that they were able to overcome various challenges which we face today, which we had faced a couple of years back in our country too. So it was just simple processes and simple solutions and simple innovations that helped these countries to grow to where they are, despite the scale and size which is so small compared to our country, which is so huge. And when 1/4 of the globe's population is what we're talking about, the Indian subcontinent. But still they are case in points, because if we compare Singapore to one particular state in India, we could take state-by-state examples, and if you replicate those models in different states, I think then our country would be a great place to be in. So it was then that, so here we now need to really reflect on the present government's initiatives and how they've actually capitalized on technology and innovation and all other technologies that have come today to transform India and to see what India is today. I'm sure you all agree that today that you are proud to be Indians today, isn't it? Can you raise your hand who all are proud to be Indians today? So that's great. I think we should give a round of applause to the proud Indians, because this is not come easy. So it was a decade's effort of the government of the day to realize how we can leverage innovations, how we can leverage state-of-the-art technologies, and how we can have innovations in governance and management that has led to what we are today. So it was not an easy task to actually overcome the challenges and the cumulative problems that were accumulated over so many decades in our country through the continuous corruption and leakages of resources and badly managed infrastructure. So we have to overcome all of that and provide for all, at the same time take care of our economy. So how it was done is through simple use of technology and innovation. We could see ministries transforming in their way of approaches. We had the total digital transformation done, not only in all aspects of life, but also predominantly in the governance and in the ministries and in the government. The entire management structure was changed. Like the philosophies of the Bhagavad Gita, which Radhamohanji said, it was all implemented in practice in the various ministries of the country, and we had time management routines put in place, and the entire government of India was functioning like a engine that is really ready to take off and stop nowhere. So that was how through simple innovations and technological applications that we were able to transform the working of the government. And when a decade back, actually, less than 1/4 of our population had access to toilets, less than 1/4 had access to water, less than 1/4 didn't even have a shelter, didn't even have a roof over their heads. And we really worked with pride in all facets of life. But it was through the digital transformations, the transfer of subsidies of the programs through the direct benefit transfer mechanism, which is, and the linked, Aadhaar linked, payment systems, which there was so much of resistance. Whenever there is change, there is resistance. So that is something that we need to accept, that whenever there is change, there will be resistance. So there were disruptive policy decisions taken, like the demonetization, which was again resisted by so many. But today we can see the impact of all of that, and how digital payment systems have become so ubiquitous today that today I don't go anywhere with a purse. I just take mobile. I'm sure many of you do that. A Google Pay or a Paytm is just enough to even buy from the Kirana stores. So that's the kind of digital transformation that we have seen today in our government structures. And within a few years, we have seen that the universal coverage of basic amenities has become a reality and not just an aspiration. Today we have almost all of India covered by access to toilets, access to water, access to shelter, and so on and so forth. So this is all by means of applications and of the new age technologies. But at the same time, I think it's a word of caution that we all need to adopt, like Radhamohanji just said about losing yourself. We should not lose ourselves in this entire race for adopting technologies. So I think we have to be mindful of that, and we can't let artificial intelligence substitute us. They only should complement us. And we can't let artificial intelligence actually checkmate humanity. So that's a danger that we really need to be mindful of. So which we can overcome by just retaining our compassion and retaining our innate kindness and compassion and humanity at the core of all. So I think that's something that we need to be mindful of. And as a new generation of tomorrow, as you will be taking over the mantle of transformation, I think you need to be prepared for disruptions at the workplace, where you will be joining various multinational corporations. There you will see that it is no longer a framework structure, it is no longer a siloed structure, it's no longer predictive. You'll have unpredictable environments, you'll have ambiguity, you'll have chaos, and you'll have disruptions. But at the same time, you will also have the support of the technology, support of digital transformation, support of digital support systems, which again provides a level playing field. Like as a management trainee, you may be able to actually walk shoulder to shoulder with the CEO of a company. So that's the kind of level playing platform that technology has brought into our life today. So at the end of it, with these words, I would just like to say that let's embrace change, let's embrace new age technology, but at the same time, let's retain our tradition, let's retain our culture, let's retain our heritage, and move forward. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Namaskar.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Dr. Anil Zen sir is between us.
We all are very fortunate enough today. We have with us our founder chairman, Pitru Purush, and Padma Shri Awardee, Adarani Dr. Devnath Jain with us. I need to have a thumping, resounding welcome for him. Have a big welcome. सर जो भी आज देवास की प्रगति हो रही है हमारे इंस्टीट्यूशन की और जो हमारे बीच में आज हमें आशीर्वाद देने जो इंडस्ट्री और एकेडमिक से लोग आए हैं, ये सभी के आप ही के आशीर्वाद का फल है। हम आपके शतायु दीर्घायु चिरायु होने की कामना करते हैं और आज मेरे ख्याल से प्रेस्टीज के लिए बहुत सौभाग्य का विषय है कि आज यहाँ प्रेस्टीज परिवार की तीनों जनरेशन्स हमारे साथ उपस्थित हैं और उसके बाद चौथी जनरेशन मैं हमारे बीच पधारे हुए यूनाइटेड नेशंस के पॉलिसी ऑफिसर सिद्धार्थ जी से विनती करूंगा कि वो बड़े साहब का पुष्प गुच्छ से स्वागत करें। और मैं राकेश जैन सर से विनती करूंगा साथ में निशान जी के साथ कि शाल और श्रीफल से बड़े साहब का हमारी ओर से आदर सत्कार स्वागत है। सर बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। मेरी आप सभी से विनती है अपनी अपनी कुर्सियां ग्रहण करें और मैडम काजल से विनती है कि प्रोसीडिंग कंटिन्यू करें। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Vinita ma'am. Now I invite Siddharth Rajan sir to deliver his address.
Thank you so much, PIMR family, and thank you, Ajit sir, for asking me to speak again today. So it's an honor, and an honor especially to speak after Vinita ma'am. So thank you so much. And it's again my proud privilege that Bade Sahab Ananjan sir is here amongst us for my address. So I'm really happy. We met many years back at the UG campus in Indore. You presented me with your book back then, so it's an honor that you're here as well. So, yesterday I spoke impromptu and I spoke about a lot of things that I observed around in Silicon Valley, my career, or in the specific context of diplomacy. Today I thought if I have to speak something different, then I may as well use the most boring thing that has happened to lectures, which is known as PowerPoint. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to use a few graphics that will help you understand something a little bit more in detail than what I spoke yesterday, and probably help you gain some insights around which the students especially, and the management and the academicians together can work as an interface and create a more competitive environment around management and public policy. So I called it cracking the code towards the career at the intersection of tech policy and management, pretty much of what I have been doing for the last many years. The first thing that I often notice, because entrepreneurship is at an all-time high in our country, and especially with Pradhan Mantri Modi's initiatives, Startup India and everything else. In fact, even in MP, I was just discussing with ma'am this morning that there have been never before intake of funds around entrepreneurship. So many youth-centric events happening every other day in Bhopal or in Delhi. So that just goes on to prove how important entrepreneurship is. But that's one thing that I want all of you, all the students here especially today, to focus on. True entrepreneurship versus the generation of Instagram entrepreneurs. True entrepreneurs are people like Dr. Ananjan Saab, Dewas sir, people, and in fact yesterday I saw a presentation, an audio visual, wherein I did not know that there were Jains in Pakistan. that was enlightening for me. NN Jain Saab's father moved to Indore in India from Rawalpindi, if I'm not mistaken. So these were the real generation of entrepreneurs. Not a lot of us knew about the Padman of India. The sad part about India is we get to know a very great thing when an Akshay Kumar movie comes out, right? So we just essentially have to wait for a movie to tell us about what exceptional is happening in the country. From the Mars mission to the Padman of India. No one knew Arunachalam Muruganathan, the man behind the sanitary pad revolution, unless that movie came out. So these were those real heroes. Today, every girl on Instagram is an aspiring model, every boy is a lifestyle influencer, and this has kind of changed the rhetoric, changed the conversation around it. Even today, values of hard work, values of focus, dedication hold the same significance as it held 50 years ago. I mean, imagine Mokshagundam Vishweshwaraya, the great civil engineer, or APJ Abdul Kalam, or Satish Dhawan, or Vikram Sarabhai, if they were busy making reels and Instagram stories from the Tumba Equatorial Launch Station, imagine where our country would have been with reference to ISRO or with all those civil engineering marvels. If Vishweshwaraya ji was busy making a reel of him walking on that bridge he just constructed in Visakhapatnam. So, I mean, we need to realize who true entrepreneurs are. And these true change makers, we need to identify them, probably learn a thing or two from them, and really take forward a journey from there. So this is an interesting Venn diagram. You all know what a Venn diagram is, right? The union in between, it's not Bhag, it stands for BHAG, Big Hairy Audacious Goal. So many years ago, when I used to be a fan of Elon Musk, now that I have, as you very well know, no longer a fan of him, but then back when I was there, he had shared this on Twitter. It said that in order to be able to be successful in today's times, with so much competition, so many exams, so many opportunities, you need to identify what you are deeply passionate about, what you can be best in the world at, and what drives your actions and decisions. So the union of these three is called BHAG. Similarly, there's a very interesting Japanese concept called Ikigai. There's a book around it. You'll find it on Amazon. Even if you don't find it, you can download the Kindle version. And you can obviously download a pirated version on the internet. A PDF copy is always available. So download it and read it. The Japanese are very meticulous. We often talk of this management concept called Six Sigma, right? A quality methodology. Japanese pioneered the real industry application of Six Sigma. They created a benchmark of quality processes known as TPS, the Toyota Production System. Probably all these, the JIT approach, just-in-time approach, Kaizen, all these philosophies have literally emerged out of the Toyota Production System. And similarly, when the Japanese were to be consulted for productivity, they had this concept called Ikigai. So it's very informative, very in-depth, what you love, what you are good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. So in between these, there are these areas, passion, mission, profession, and vocation. So you need to find the right balance. Sometimes you won't be paid enough, but you will have a sense of fulfillment. Sometimes you might make enough money, but you still might not feel like you have done enough for the world to transform the society around you. You won't feel that sense of having given back to the society. So that's where this fits in. A little brief about what I do currently. I'm based primarily in New York, on loan to the Permanent Mission of India to the UN, however, primarily with the UNDP. Before this, I finished my education from HBS. I had gone to Harvard primarily because of my diplomacy training at Kennedy School. And before that, before coming on to the government side of things, I was in the corporate side. I most commonly, most people still remember me for is my time at Apple. Even Ajit sir met me during those days. So I was a product manager at Apple. I was an engineer, the average computer science engineer, and I was responsible for a platform called as Swift Playgrounds. Swift being the coding language for iOS, watchOS, macOS, and tvOS. So primarily based out of Singapore, which is in fact an Asia Pacific headquarters, like ma'am said, for most organizations. And one essential part of my career while at Apple was a little bit of startup experience that I did. A part of which was a milestone in my career was my association with Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. This was with reference to a startup known as Spacify. Spacify, दो शब्दों के संधि विच्छेद से बना है Space plus Wi-Fi. This is what we did in 2014 when Digital India was just launched. We were probably the pioneers of an industry known as geospatial in India. And that is where I feel there is a lot of potential for us to innovate. In fact, most parts of, I'll just pause. Okay, all right. So that's what I say most commonly, that the entire conversation around entrepreneurship in India is developed mostly around Shark Tank. Ever since Shark Tank came around, most parents, most people, before that, if you told parents or that generation that you can actually go out to the market and take money against equity, they won't understand it. They still felt that their child is borrowing money, and that was a sin for most Indian parents. Most conversation around entrepreneurship in India developed after Shark Tank happened. And that's where I feel even today people are looking for a simple service-oriented fit in any sector. They are just trying to create websites and apps around somewhat unexplored concepts. And again, most concepts have been explored. It might just be that in their local economy that might not have been done well. So they are still looking for fits like that. And there is a huge gap. Like we use the term fintech for financial technology. MedTech is one essential area, and there are zero startups or innovation-based startups in that space. You know why? Doctors, after having undergone all of those training, MBBS, MD, MS, would not dare to become entrepreneurs and wanting to innovate something. Entrepreneurs, on the other hand, are PCM students who have ended up doing engineering, and they left biology in class 10. And probably left it because they didn't want to study it further. So they won't, and again, make a foray into that space. So that is where a lot of gap is there. Similarly, satellite technology is one area. Most people who pursue satellite technology undergo wireless systems engineering, radar technology, all these trainings, and end up and look at joining institutions at a scientist A or scientist B grade, which the government of India, the UPSC, conducts. They don't wish to enter the entrepreneurship space. And entrepreneurs, again, for them, this is too much of deep tech. So that is where not a lot of innovation is happening. So that is what we did. As part of one of the major constraints or challenges my startup faced, I had 5 co-founders. Now 3 of them are still running the show. In the geospatial space was the lack of infrastructure in terms of bandwidth. That was a major constraint we faced, and that's where Dr. Kalam's intervention came into play. Satellite tech has undergone a lot of changes today. So there is something called as LEO, Low Earth Orbit, in which we have nanosats, microsats, and CubeSats. So as part of one of these missions, like the Space Organization of India, ISRO, is the most jugadu space organization ever. ISRO launched a PSLV rocket that carried 104 satellites in space. So as part of one such mission, the PSLV C-29 Helios-1 mission, in which Asterix, the Indian satellite manufacturer, and the National University of Singapore collaborated, we had our own nanosat launched as part of that mission. This is something that happened in the December of 2015. And since then, it's been my mission to focus on one fact. At Spacify, we worked on this technology called satellite internet, something that even Elon Musk and Starlink are doing. And that is only if Elon gets free from his 43 wives and 59 children. But still, in a country like India, where we have so much scope to innovate, this was a huge movement in that direction. So we are working on a technology called Outernet. It's like a new generation of interconnectivity. Sabse pehle aaya intranet, that some of you might have heard what companies still use to communicate from one cubicle to another. Then came internet. And internet essentially is made up of 2 words, internet net. Interconnected network of what? Of deep sea cables. But so the entire technology behind internet or World Wide Web is through those deep sea cables that were laid in the 60s and 70s. That's how India received its internet when LPG happened, right? Liberalization, privatization, globalization. Tata Internet Services paid the first tender to receive that deep sea cable from Arabian Sea. And that's how internet and telecommunications happened in India. But today, laying down cables and wires will not help you achieve last mile connectivity. you need a upgradation of technology, and wireless is the way to go. So we call this technology as Outernet. Using low Earth orbit satellites, we are trying to make that happen in conjunction with Digital India. And this was the story of how Spacify, the startup I was a founder of, was born. We worked in an area of disruptive innovation, like you can understand. And it was much later when I went to Harvard, they called it Blue Ocean Strategy. And my dear friends, like I mentioned yesterday, this entire part, I haven't even glanced at this slide. I just asked ChatGPT to write a paragraph on Blue Ocean Strategy and it gave me this. And I have just copy pasted it here. Pretty much like what all of you have done for the last 22 years of 12 years, 14 years of schooling, and the last 3 and 5 or 2 years of PG and UG courses. Management and education just gives a fancy title to what you have already been doing. In the specific context of entrepreneurship, textbook versions, people's perceptions, and great ideas don't work. Like I said, great ideas go to the graveyard. Mediocre ideas with good execution go to the market. So your idea, even if it's great, if it's good, if it's bad, doesn't matter. It's the execution that will change the game. And management experts have always had this idea, academicians, they give fancy titles to otherwise simple concepts. Like we wanted to go out there and innovate, disrupt the market, make the competition irrelevant, pretty much what every businessman ever wants to do. And they called it Blue Ocean Strategy. So you will always find these concepts in your books, but that doesn't make any sense. It helps you just pass one exam. It is only when you go out there in the market and do it real time, you can see your concept in place, in practice. So in my case, it was pretty much reverse engineering. I did it and then I came across a book and there was an entire chapter and in fact an entire syllabus around that, and I realized, oh well, this is something that we already did. So the idea was, we were trying, as part of Digital India, there's a wing called BharatNet for rural digitalization. In conjunction with Sanchar Manch, we are trying to provide free internet. But the problem here was, how do we bring revenue for a startup whose primary offering is free internet? And that is where some of my experience with Apple, in Silicon Valley, with my friends at Google and Facebook came into play. We solved a crucial element. Today, in order to make money, you don't need to make this and sell to the customer. You don't even need to be a service or a consultancy or an outsourcing firm like TCS, wherein you do the process, the service process behind it. All you need to do is understand one thing: data, data analytics, data monetization. They say data is the new oil. Just like the Saudi had an entire boom in its economy because of petroleum, data is the new oil. So we solved one of these secrets. Remember, when the product or service is free, just like in the case of Facebook or Google, the consumer is no longer the consumer. The consumer is the product. That is exactly what Mark Zuckerberg has been doing for so many years and has created a billion-dollar empire around it. That is exactly what Sundar Pichai has been doing. And that is also a reason why the US Senate called Mark Zuckerberg and Sundar Pichai for that Senate hearing. If you saw videos of it on YouTube, where none of the senators understood anything about data, and they were just throwing wild questions at them, and both of them tackled it pretty much. But that is the power of data analytics. So in order to do anything with reference to future industries, career, or entrepreneurship, or even in public policy, I am trying to figure out a domain called as policy analytics, where we marry public policy with data analytics to make policy paralysis irrelevant, to make public policy more transparent, funding more transparent and accountable. So we talks with it around Niti Aayog to create an entire framework, a software around that. But that is where I feel the future of every industry is. So all you need to do is keep your textbooks aside, go over to Udemy, Udacity, Coursera, edX, and pick up some courses around data. Most essentially R programming. It's the backbone of the analytics industry. Just learn R programming, SAS, Hadoop. That's all you need to tell your future employer. You are absolutely industry ready for any career you want to take. Every textbook, every blue ocean, red ocean, and green ocean will take you nowhere. All of those microeconomics, macroeconomics, I don't even know what the hell that was. Even though essentially I have to deliver a speech sometimes on the micro-evaluation of an economical segment in the Europe or in the APAC region at the UN, I have no clue how economics works. But that is the beauty of academics. it teaches us a lot of heavy stuff without a lot of relevance. And that therefore a lot of intelligent people might always score a kind of average marks in their 11th and 12th or 10th and 12th grades. They might score in their 80s, not necessarily in their 90 percentage. Back when percentages were a real thing, not CGPAs, right? So, I mean, there's a reason why. Because a lot of times you are not able to grasp so many things unless it makes sense. Whereas a lot of people, if you see, who scored like 96 and 98 percentages in their class 10th and 12th, might end up doing a lot of normal, mediocre stuff in life, which is great, by the way. But that's because they were able to retain that information just for the sake of the examination. So that is a valid input that you should receive in your academic life. You guys can recognize this. What is so special about Motorola? Obviously, that's the answer. And which year? So, I'll tell you, in January 1973, Motorola registered the first working prototype of the mobile phone. And where is Motorola today? Acquired by? Lenovo. And uske pehle? Google. And how old was Google when it acquired Motorola? So Google was started in 1998. Larry and Sergey Down, Stanford, during their PhD, which again an Indian professor, Rajiv Motwani, helped them do, by the way. But then again, the fact is, in 2008, Google was just over a decade old. A company that was just over a decade old to manage to buy a 40-year-old pioneer of the mobile phone. Looking at this trend, similarly, recognize this? And what is so special about Kodak? Apart from the fact that it has been stored in the depths of that locker in your cupboard in the bedroom of your parents and has all those stupid looking photographs of your childhood that have stuck together in an album, they were all taken on a Kodak camera. Kodak was the pioneer of the handheld camera. And today, where is Kodak? So some days ago, I was looking at a report and it said that Kodak is now making Android smartphones in Nigeria of all the places. So you can imagine the pioneer of the camera, where it has gone. So in 1987 and 88, a bunch of youngsters went to the corporate headquarters of Kodak in Silicon Valley. They said, sir, we want to present you the future of photography. This is the first working prototype of a digital camera. It will have an LCD screen, it will have ISO, it will run by an IC. And they said, with a futuristic vision, sir, we feel that photography will become so important, one day it will be on every handheld phone. And the board of Kodak was astounded. They said, we know what photography is. This is a toy, we don't make toys. In 93-94, Kodak declared its corporate bankruptcy. Whole of IIM Ahmedabad and ISB Hyderabad, the entire MBA curriculum is on this one single case study. The fall of Kodak. The greatest B-school case study ever. 93-94, they declared their corporate bankruptcy. Also, the first company to make the laptop, a Japanese brand called Toshiba. In 2020, Toshiba, the pioneer of the laptop, sold its entire business to Sharp, another Japanese maker. And the list of these companies is endless. Nokia, BlackBerry. Nokia, the CEO, he cried at the annual general body meeting in Finland. He said, I don't know where the company went wrong. One of the CEOs committed suicide. Because of the fall of Nokia, there are 5,000 startups that have come up in and around Nokia river in Finland. Similarly, BlackBerry. Where is BlackBerry today? Pioneer of what? Of the smartphone, of emailing on a handheld device, of the QWERTY keypad, and pioneer of a billion-dollar industry known as IM, instant messaging, of which WhatsApp is the biggest player today. BlackBerry Messenger was all launched by BlackBerry. And today, where is BlackBerry? So, BlackBerry got sold to an Indo-Canadian for $150 million because we Indians never miss out on a good discount. But that's the fate of BlackBerry. While Apple is a $1 trillion company, Google again a $1 trillion, $900 billion giant, BlackBerry got sold for nearly $150 million a couple years ago. At the same time, you recognize this. And what is so special about Instagram? You know a term called unicorn. What is a unicorn? Ashneer Grover हर बार बोलता है Shark Tank पे unicorn क्या है? $1 billion company. A company with a $1 billion valuation. Instagram, while it is still just an app, is the fastest company to become a unicorn, a $1 billion company. Only 18 months and 13 members could manage to make $1 billion company. Facebook acquired Instagram for $1 billion. Remember? You recognize this? And again, what is so special about WhatsApp got acquired by someone? Meta, of course, because every time you open WhatsApp, that's what it says. But back then it was still called Facebook. For
18 billion.
$19 billion. Imagine only 22 months and 50 employees could manage. There is a concept called the lean startup or the lean enterprise model. I don't think of a better example than Instagram and WhatsApp to do that. You look at these examples, all those examples, major corporations with 40, 30 years of existence, pioneers of tech, but lack of ability to change with time, lack of innovation, and their entire companies got doomed. Nokia, किस बात की गलती थी? Pioneer of the indestructible hammerhead, the nuclear warhead. Nokia that is thus. Whenever Russia says we have a nuclear weapon for a Russia-Ukraine war, we also had the Nokia 3310, the indestructible phone. But today, all of these companies have vanished. Whereas at the same time, if you look at Instagram or if you look at WhatsApp, all of these small companies, no great idea, just a simple concept, a platform approach of connecting the end user with a service or product, and that is what created this revolution. So there was a lot that can be done around this. Most importantly, like my experiences with Dr. Kalam, I had the opportunity of meeting him around 15 times at the residence of the former president, then Rajaji Ma. He wanted India to be a knowledge superpower. Like in the global geopolitical space where I come from, most tensions are because of who wants to be number one, and that has always been the case with US and Russia. India never wanted that. India wanted to be a knowledge superpower, not a dominant or a nuclear superpower. And that is where I feel we must focus on our passion. If you think of Shah Rukh Khan more than performing arts, if you think of Chetan Bhagat more than literary arts, if you think of Kalpana Chawla more than astrophysics, then that is something which you are fascinated about. It's not your passion. Your passion is something that intellectually stimulates you. So identify that. It's important that in our country we need people with scientific temper rather than scientists. And even if we don't find that, we just need to stay away from such people. I think that will automatically take care of most things. Coming back to our belief system and value system, there's something that I want to really say. Western media has always flooded our existence. From the BBC documentary about Prime Minister Modi to everything, Western media has completely clouded the way the Indian mind thinks. There is a place in San Francisco near San Jose. It's called the Bubblegum Alley. You know what they have done? For the last 10 years, they're chewing gums and sticking onto a wall. And people pay $25 to come and click selfies over there. It's one of the most Instagrammed places on earth, a Bubblegum Alley. We have so many great things in India, but we don't sometimes know how to market them right. If there is one thing I have learned staying in the US, it is America markets the hell out of everything. And that is exactly what has been shown in this very example. So our core competency, guys, has always been our gray cells, right? I always feel bad whenever there is an article about India, for example, in the Olympics. Every time, the Olympics before the Tokyo one, the Rio Olympics, if you Google up, you will always find negative articles. Why? Back then we were like what 1.20 billion people, right? Modi ji bolte na 125 crore deshwasi mere. So back then there are articles that people 125 crore people and cannot produce a single gold medal. Then obviously we did well. We did well with Neeraj Chopra around the Tokyo Olympics. But then again they'll say 1.40 billion people and just one gold medal. But that wasn't our core competency. Our core competency are our grey cells. The Olympics of the brain, the physics Olympiad, bio, maths Olympiad. For the last 500 years, there's been an Indian kid winning a gold medal. But the Western media won't highlight that. The National Spell Bee, you know, there's a competition called the National Spell Bee that happens in the US. For the last 1,000-year history, there has been an Indian kid, and particularly probably a South Indian with a weird name and probably a spelling. That's the only spelling that he can't take, who would always win the National Spell Bee competition, defeating like 20-year-old Americans. Again, the Western media won't highlight that. I told you something about late Professor Rajiv Motwani yesterday. The man behind the algorithm, the man behind the AI revolution, and the man behind a very important document known as PageRank algorithm, on which Larry and Sergey built their website, Google. This is a post just from yesterday from his wife Asha Motwani. who now resides in California as one of the board members. She's my friend on Facebook, and coincidentally it was his birth anniversary also yesterday. She just mentioned that if it wasn't for him and the foundational theorems he proved, today's AI explosion may not have happened. ChatGPT, the greatest thing to happen to the entire community. Just goes on to prove the importance of the human brain, and specifically the Indian brain, how much India has contributed. There's a reason there's a Sundar Pichai at Google, a Satya Nadella at Microsoft, all of these people. So moonshots are what we need to create from the UN to Microsoft to Google to Apple. Moonshots are what the world is talking of right now. We need to solve for India. There are some technologies I'll quickly take you through. Outernet or satellite powered internet, something that we are working on. Artificial intelligence, you recognize this? The self-driving car of Google. Augmented reality or virtual reality, Oculus, Microsoft HoloLens, Google Glass. And most favorite, big data or data analytics, an entire domain that has dominated the world. Something that you must pursue immediately in education. So that's something we did with reference to my entire journey pre-diplomacy, and that is what I wanted to share. Solving for public policy still remains one of the biggest challenges because of the lack of tech or tech-enabled support in this. There's an F6 partnership that I was just discussing with ma'am, on which World Bank was also a member. Apart from that, there's UNFPA, UNICEF, UNDP. All of these institutions together form this H6 partnership. There are something called as the Sustainable Development Goals. If you still haven't heard, 2030 was the deadline given by the UN Secretary General for the accomplishment of these goals. And let me tell you off record that we haven't even come around 10% to achieving these goals. So I really feel there is a lot that needs to be done around the SDGs. A whole lot of innovation awaits you, so start working in that direction. The UN is not an institution where you write the UPSC or the foreign services and you reach. It is open to all. It's a colosseum of the human endeavor. So try, aspire, develop things around it, because that's how we can build up on a similar revolution. In my own case, coming from an absolutely middle class family with absolutely no business insight whatsoever, and also completely service oriented parents, it was obviously, Nishant sir knows them as well, it was obviously very difficult for me to convince them and get here. But then because you just keep trying, like I said, there is no such thing as perfection. Do not aspire to do great things. Keep doing mediocre things, but just keep doing. Just keep, for the heck of it, just keep doing. There's no greater joy than just doing it, because only that will help you succeed. Took us to White House while Sundar Pichai was in the US Senate for one of those hearings. We were also there because we developed a framework around data privacy. Similarly, because we were the only startup in 2015 around geospatial technology, and in specific around microwave and remote sensing geospatial interference, data analytics, which is the core competency of the geospatial industry, the satellite industry that it caters to, the Indian Army obviously wanted some amount of microwave remote sensing for specific areas. So we did that. The movie Uri that you saw, obviously Bollywood dramatizes the heck out of everything. They used a drone called Garud. None of that happened. But yes, there was a little bit of satellite-based remote sensing that was used. We also got end credits in the movie. The next time you happen to see it, we received end credits as part of the remote sensing that we provided. That helped us meet or collaborate with the Indian Army. This, of course, is my personal favorite, with late CDS General Bipin Rawat Saab, the first Chief of Defence Staff of India. I didn't even get selected in NCC back in school because I had flat foot apparently. But then, because if you persevere just a little bit more, you can probably make it to the Indian Army, even if you cannot make it to the IMA or GNT. This happens to be with Sena Pramukh, the Chief of Army Staff, General M.M. Narwani. And this happens to be with my personal favorite, Lieutenant General Paramjit Sangha, the Commander-in-Chief of the Para SF Commandos. This could only happen because you need to persevere just long enough so that things start to happen. So I think that is exactly what we do. We did around that time. Narendra Singh Tomar Saab, who was also responsible for the Union Minister for Rural Development, collaborated with him for providing internet around digitalization of schools. So a lot of opportunities opened up. It all happened because we had a sense of jugaad. Jugaad isn't a wrong word. Even HBS, Harvard Business School, recognizes something called, they have a fancy terminology by the way. Just like Blue Ocean Strategy, they call it frugal innovation. We don't need that terminology. We have been doing that for ages. It's called jugaad. So that's exactly what we did. Helped us go a lot of places. Helped me reach out to the government. That was the time I was still deciding on what to do with my career. I figured out civil servants are always under the command of a senior leadership. Also pretty much lethargic. I am very proud to say, being a part of the fraternity myself, that things do take a hell lot of time. And that is where I decided that if you have the brains and the desire to work in that direction, why not give a damn exam and make that change happen for yourself and for the country. This is with Manoj Sinha ji, the only startup in the country to sign a spectrum sharing license. Back then in the satellite space was ours. In 2016 at Sanchar Bhavan in Delhi, we received a spectrum sharing license that is valid till 2025 and no major telco, including Jio and Airtel, to contest in that space. So we've been working in that direction. And this is the satellite that I mentioned in the start of my lecture. This was in May 2015. It was launched in December that year, my friends. So I think if you do start working in that direction, a lot of things will open up. This was the journey, unknown side of my life for before pre-diplomacy, pre-coming into the government side. This is what I did. I explored the engineering side and on the entrepreneurial side of my life. This is specified. My co-founders and team, they have been in Indore and still open for a lot of placements. So if you wish to intern at any point, we'd be happy to do that. However, please don't bring your parents to the interviews. Again, entrepreneurship, like I said, Shark Tank ke baad hi the dialogue started happening. Before that, you know, the funny incident is, a lot of times, being a startup, a lot of parents will accompany their kids to the interviews. And because we were just 20-somethings, sitting in front of like a 55-year-old guy, it would be the reverse. They would start interviewing us based on our balance sheet and our funding requirements and our future possibilities and scope. And at the end of the day, we would get a completely useless and absolutely non-functional, defunct employee, because that would be their kid at the end of the day, who would also go home and, by the way, ask their parent. If when we give them a simple assignment on Excel or PowerPoint, they'd go home and ask their parent whether to do it or not. So come out of that comfort zone. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. So come out of it as fast as you can. Push your limits. Do not aspire to do great things. There is nothing called as greatness. Just do average things, but just keep doing. Vision without execution is delusion. On that note, my dear friends and ladies and gentlemen, I take your leave. It's been an honor to have Nemnath sir with us. Dewas sir, my dear friend Vinita ma'am, thank you for flying all the way. And thank you Ajit sir for inviting me. And it's been an honor. Thank you.
PhD thesis contest, and now is the time to announce the winners for the same. I would like to invite Himanshu Jain sir to present the award. The award goes to Mr. Jiten Patel sir. I request Himanshu sir to give a floral welcome to Kapil sir. Ajit sir, please join us. I request Ajit Upadhyay sir to give a floral welcome to Ramesh sir. Thank you, sir. Prestige is proud to have the best people in the team who make the difference by putting their best foot forward each day and driving incredible results. I request Vinita Hariharan ma'am to present the award to Ashima Joshi ma'am for her publication in ABDC Journal. I again request ma'am to present the award to Yogen Singh Rajawat sir and Neelam ma'am for their publication in Scopus listed journal. I request Dewas Jain sir to present the award to Ashima Joshi ma'am for her publications in Scopus listed journal. I again request Dewas sir to present the award to Neelam ma'am. Last but not the least, I request Dewas sir to present the award to Director Sir, Ashima ma'am and Yogen sir for their publication in ABDC listed journal. They all will be receiving the award of rupees 5,000. Thank you, sir. Moving ahead, I request to play the AV of Anadi Upadhyay, sir.
Mr. Anadi Upadhyay, Senior Director, Product Development, Oracle Corporation, Redwood Shores, USA. Mr. Anadi Upadhyay is a software professional and hands-on engineering leader with over 20 years of industry experience in all stages of the product development life cycle. Mr. Anadi is leading engineering teams across time zones to deliver highly secure enterprise applications which provide a consistent consumer-grade user experience, enterprise-grade scalability, and mission-critical performance. Sir is a patent holder who is instrumental in driving business transformation with software as a service offerings and has received 12 technology patents grants from US Patent Office. Sir is also serving as an advisory council member for California State University East Bay, USA. We welcome you, sir.
Anadi sir will be joining us digitally. I request Rajneesh sir to kindly connect.
Yes. You click now?
Okay, thank you. So I hope you can hear me perfectly fine. Can anyone please confirm?
Somebody can be close to the. Ajit sir, if you can be on the screen for him. Otherwise, he is talking to the blank screen.
Sure, thank you. Hello everyone, and first of all, really thanks for having me in your prestigious conference. I am delighted to see the things which is happening over there via YouTube. I was just listening all the proceedings before. So before we go, my greetings to respected elder gents and all the generation of Jain family sitting right over there. Respected people sitting on the stage, my dear faculty members, and of course students. The picture that you are seeing me on my profile is when I was visiting to India recently, and I was invited by Bikram University Institute of Computer Science campus to discuss few things. And when this opportunity came again, I was really delighted to join. So here from California, right now it's early morning, 4:30 a.m. So good morning from me and almost good evening for your time. So let's get to the business before waiting to the okay. So as we know very clearly that today we are in an exponential technology world. Perhaps the first time in history, technology is evolving faster than we expected to. We have just witnessed that technology and work has become more than ever intertwined. We have seen how people from different walks of life, from global corporations to the government, academia to small businesses, elementary school kids to university students, relied solely on technology when in crisis and quickly reimagined how they could move on. It was an example of human resilience, which we will talk more about going forward. Technology has carried us through the toughest challenges in recent history, but it has even bigger role to play in our future. So the question that we are going to discuss more on deeply is, are we ready to harness the technology for business transformation with a combination of AI, automation, and people? I have seen your various topics and transformations coming in almost everywhere. So I don't think we have to define transformations. Your faculties have already defined it quite well, better than me. But the key thing here is successful transformation requires integrating cornerstones, essential for achieving business outcomes. Key thing here is business outcomes. Any transformation will be not successful till you are making it really a business transformation. To start that, I will be showing you a 2 minutes video. Topic is very, very simple, and I'm more than sure that every person on that room will understand. For my own company, but definitely I have no intention to promote anyone here. So let us focus on this 2 minutes video here, because we are going to discuss more about it towards the end, and I will promise to keep this session more and more alive and meaningful for all of you. Let us listen to this and confirm me if you are not able to hear, because this is also we are doing via digital media. Can you hear that?
Audio not recording.
Sorry, everyone.
The audio jack connected.
Just give me a minute. Is it audible now? Okay, I think let's move on. What I was trying to show basically is that maybe I will try one more time, and then we can definitely move to the other thing. Is it audible? Audible? Yes. Okay, perfect. So let us move to the slides only, and I will try to highlight what I was trying to show that via. Okay, we apologize for that. Okay, so what was the? Okay, so I think we will try to focus on 3 T's for transformation. The video that I was trying to place it there was mainly highlighting how in today's industrial world, when construction is working on, how a site can be completely monitored using digital tools. And it was a very good example of how we are using technology today to from identifying people, identifying risk and associated with them, and everything related to that. Okay. So unfortunately we cannot play that video. So I will move on with the business transformation thing, which we have already, I think, gone through. And what we are going to discuss here is basically the 3 P's: the time, technology, and the team. And going forward, we will be covering the impact of these P's on transformation, be it a digital transformation, business transformation, or social transformation. Okay. So let's talk about the time. What we have seen so far is that pandemic has really elevated existing trends in remote work, e-commerce, and automation. With up to 25% more workers worldwide are estimated potentially needing to switch their occupation. And it is a big change which we are seeing after the pandemic. Remote work, I can tell from here, from this part of the world, that definitely it is something which was not there before, but in some industries it is going to stay, and we expect more 20-25% workers in advanced economics could be working remotely. Digitalization has 5x more increment that we are going to see going forward, but the impact of it, and automation is coming to a big boost. And why it is happening, and how we are going to impacted by this. Correct? If you say work from home, prior to pandemic was very less. If you look at the baseline, it was really peaked towards during the pandemic, came to the somewhat normal, but not really as before the pandemic. Business travel we are expecting to reduce, it will keep it low from the prior lines. Leisure travel is already back to the normal. E-commerce penetration is the thing that we will be discussing more, but this is the one thing which was less prior to pre-pandemic. If you put the pandemic as a time bar, and post-pandemic it is really increasing. Restaurant deliveries coming back to the normal again. Online grocery is still more than before, but not at the pandemic level. Online education is coming back to the normal, but still it is there, and people are still utilizing online tool and technologies for learning, which is much more than before the pandemic. Telemedicine is the one field which is having seen the boost, and that is a welcome boost because it is really needed for the people. And same with the automation and the AI. This is one of the fields basically which has really boosted after the pandemic. It has taken the hit in the initial days of pandemic, but now most of the CEOs heavily investing in the adoption of the AI. Now, then everything was fine, and then we have seen the pre and post pandemic. What we have to see, what really went wrong? Why we are seeing so many tech layoffs? Why we are hearing that basically that Facebook and Google and all well-known CEOs are recognizing and realizing that they took some wrong decisions? Because as life transformation or any business journey is not a straight line, or it's not a straightforward, or not all successes. Right? So people are realizing just they have taken during the pre-pandemic, whether it's a change or whether the number of people required, maybe they did not realize the outcome needed, and now we are existing as per that. But that is not a negative, but that's the part of the transformation. That's the reason it's very important to realize that transformation is never always a success story. Sometimes you have to pause, take a break, and try to find out how you can pause it. Okay. So this is the time right now that we have to think more about the business transformation. And when we talk about business transformation, technology is definitely the key. And when we talk about technology, the two things which is driving the whole innovation in the current scenario are the two terms we are calling them: cloud computing and AI. AI basically is definitely a more cool, or you can say more glorified term, but we will be trying to dig down more into details to really understand, to make it so it can make sense to the more people. Cloud computing, all of you know, but I just wanted to make it like very oversimplified compared to the textbook definition. What we are talking about here is we are talking about renting instead of buying. That's what cloud computing is all about. Rather than your organization, for example, maybe your prestige institute, rather than investing heavily in database, software, and hardware, they are simply renting their compute power via some companies and not buying anything. Correct? And this services includes everything possible in the IT world. And let us try to see what kind of cloud computing you can borrow. Correct? You can borrow infrastructure as a service, you can borrow platform, you can borrow software as a service. When we say infrastructure as a service, is all your IT needs. Correct? Platform means you are borrowing the basic fundamental tools which you will be using to develop your own applications, and service means you are getting everything from that. And you have the various ways of deployment. It can be private, public, or hybrid. And nowadays, this is the more popular basically that the partnership-based hybrid. So two organizations coming together and sharing their cloud computing techniques. Next slide, basically, it's very important to see this here is that if you see the left side of it, is the key drivers, what you are going to do. When you say you are borrowing as infrastructure or you are renting as infrastructure as a service cloud, you are just renting the infrastructure. But it is your responsibility or a customer responsibility to control the platform, application, and all the customization. So you need IT professionals to handle it, and this is what the one way of the cloud computing which we are seeing today in the world. If you see middle, here you don't have the platform you are still using for the service provider. You have the service provider providing you platform, but you are building your own application and customization. It's still suitable for the small businesses who wants to do, or maybe big businesses who want to develop their own application. And the last one is you are seeing basically software as a service cloud. This means you are provider. You are renting everything. They are providing platform, they are providing applications, and business users are only customizing as per their need. This is the model. Three models people are using it heavily, and the recent digitization really made it possible in the rapid growth of this industry. But what went wrong here? Even after doing everything, what we are seeing right now is that cyber attacks are rapidly increasing, calling trillions of dollars damage every year. Cyber security industry has chance now to step up. So what we are seeing is that with every step, even short time duration, every action has resulted in something bad, and it has provided an opportunity, a new opportunity that you can address on. And this is what the transformation journey is. We start something, we get a setback, we take a step back, realize what went wrong, and it gives us a new opportunity. Right? So if we just talk about the cyber security, this is the current, if you see how much we were investing before, and how much the security and investigation the code was possible before has completely changed. Correct? We can say that we have 10x more market available after the digitization, and companies are coming to grab this market. Result, we see, if you see number of patents, number of innovation in the cyber security, it will tell you the true story. You see here that in this 4 years of time duration from 2017 to 2021, rapid growth in number of patents. What patents tell, and this is what we are talking about, a granted patent. It means that patent which different patent offices accepted and granted. It means that industry realized that world needs digitization. They realize that it is there is issues with the security. Correct? They realize so this is what so what we can tell here is that a lot of companies are already stepping up to resolve it. So we will have to do that. So this is what we have to focus on when we're talking about the technology and innovation. And AI definitely can help us to do this. So in order to, I think I will conclude this here because it looks like there is something going on, I think. So we have to understand that basically that we can foster the adoption and everything and via AI and the combination of the human thing. Last but not least, what I will say basically is that key thing is the human experience. So if you focus on the working as a team, and technology can be enabler and it will be successful for you. So I think I will conclude with this and hopefully we will talk sometime next time. Okay.
Yesterday we also had the summer internship contest, and this is the time to announce the winner. I would like to request Suhas sir to present. Winner for the same is Shreyanshi Patel. Shreyanshi Patel. Runner-up is Aryan Soni. Internal winners are Muskan Pariharan Group. Muskan Pariharan Group. BCA third year. Runner-up is Abhishek Prajapati. May I now request for the area of Sushant sir.
Das, Head Aftermarket, North Region. Mr. Sushant Das is a professional with more than 25 years of experience in Indian automobile industry, serving various multinational companies such as Volvo Trucks, Daimler India CV, Tata Motors CV, etc. in different capacities. Mr. Das has earned post-graduation in mechanical engineering from BITS Pilani and also in marketing management from IIT Calcutta. He is a certified project management professional from PIMR, Pennsylvania, and also a vivid researcher. His areas of interest are services marketing, consumer behavior, project management, and statistical software smart PLS. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, good evening everyone. जिनकी पावर खत्म हो गया, बैठ डाउन. Good evening. और थोड़ा जोर से. Good evening. Good. So I will bring your attention from clouds to back on the road. We have heard several times that we should have a sight for the stars while having our foot grounded. So welcome to Volvo Trucks. We have been listening about the 5 keywords from various eminent speakers over the last since yesterday, and however I have picked only 2 points so that you can anchor the understanding from what I will be sharing. So, organizational transformation is a dedicated effort in creating a new vision for the organization. Okay, just remember the word in blue. That is, the purpose is to respond to environmental changes or to initiate change. Okay, so just remember these 2 words because while I will be presenting, you have to associate the presentation with these keywords to understand how we as organizations are doing our bit in line with the theme of the conference. While social transformation means the restructuring of all or various aspects of life, from culture to social relations, from politics to economy, from the way we think to the way we live. So emphasis is on the way we think. Okay. By the way, how many of you are aware of Volvo? Please raise your hand. Volvo, नाम सुना है? Only 30-40%. कितने लोगों ने देखा है Volvo प्रोडक्ट को? Little bit lesser. So 20%. Okay. So I'll start with who we are. Volvo Group is now about to complete 100 years. So it was established in the 1924 at Sweden. Sweden एक बहुत छोटा सा देश है. उसका population is just around 1 crore. मतलब चेन्नई जैसा एक population है उसका. Okay, so it's a small country. City निकल जाता है मुझसे. So it's a very small country. But the level of innovations and the level of technology aggression which they show is very high. हम लोग जो सीट बेल्ट लगाते हैं कार में, so that was innovated by Volvo in fact, and the other things. But when we invented that thing, seat belt, it's a safety feature. So the organization didn't thought of patenting it. The organization didn't thought of patenting it because it's a safety thing and we wanted everyone to avail the benefit of that. Sweden is famous for other innovations like pacemakers, which in medical science, yes, we do replacement of heart valves. So pacemakers are there. The wrench which we use in our daily, or in the backup plumber, wrench used for the adjustable wrench, it is also invented by Sweden. So there are various things. A small country of the size of Chennai, size a little bit bigger, but population of size of Chennai is very innovative in nature, and Volvo is from that country. We have a global presence in 190 markets. 190 देशों में Volvo के products जाते हैं, और we have a production in 18 countries. This is about Volvo. अगर हम Volvo trucks में जाते हैं, Volvo में
Drugs भी है, बस है, पेंटा है जो मैरिन इंजीनियरिंग में शिप्स में यूज होते हैं इंजन. But if you go to Volvo trucks is a premium truck. इसीलिए आपको थोड़ा सा कम नजर आता है इंडियन रोड्स में. Volvo is a premium truck और इस premium truck category में we have a market share of 94%. We have a market share of 94% and the products are basically running in mines. मैं आपको लास्ट में एक वीडियो दिखाऊंगा कि why our products is having that level of market share. ये कुछ innovations में but I will try to save some time. So seat belt I have already mentioned about it. Dynamic steering is something where the steering is so responsive that even if a hamburg climbs on the steering rotates. So it is that kind of sensitivity on the steering. Lot of fuel cell philosophy is also going on. Siddharth talked about COP27 greenhouse effect and all those things. So we are actually very closely working in that direction, Volvo trucks, and the organization has placed that we will be carbon neutral by 2040. So it is as far as the 17 sustainable areas. So number 13 is environmental. So we will be carbon neutral by 2040 and fossil free transport system. Fossil free मतलब जो लोहा यूज होने वाला है प्रोडक्ट में, उसको उस लोहे को बनाने के लिए कोई भी फोसाइल यूज नहीं होगा, मतलब कोल यूज नहीं होगा. The blast furnace will be fired by hydrogen. Then we are also working on hydrogen cell. हमारा सबसे बड़ा जो कॉम्पिटिटर है वर्ल्ड वाइड में that is Daimler, है ना, जो मर्सिडीज बेंज वाला ग्रुप है Daimler. So Daimler and Volvo are number 1, number 2. But they have collaborated for a common cause. दोनों ने मिलकर एक सेंसिट्रिक नाम का ऑर्गेनाइजेशन फॉर्म किया है and we are working and by the end of this decade we will be able to run the vehicles on hydrogen cell. We are doing on various because of paucity of time I will restrict my presentation to only couple of audio visuals. जैसे मान लीजिए हम लोग रोड कंस्ट्रक्शन चलता रहता है.
Over the past century or so, one thing we have learned is that our development has been detrimental to the environment. In the name of progress and the industrial and technological revolutions, our surroundings have been gradually denuded. Along the way, we have learned the real value of our environment and are beginning to think of solutions to bridge the gap. Today, it is indeed a proud moment that Volvo Trucks is presenting their latest offering, the Tree Transplantation Solution. Given the current climate, the dire need to preserve trees, this is indeed a boon, because science shows that merely replanting a tree is not all it takes. The value of a tree increases with age. So planting a fresh seed does not make up for cutting down a tree. It is here that the Volvo tree transplanter makes all the difference, the key to sustainable development. The product in itself is superior in the market, with a rugged FNX 440 horsepower off-road chassis, a comfortable operator cabin to work in, 4 stabilizing mechanisms for safety, 360-degree smooth for better tree approachability, and a hydraulic telescopic boom for extended reach. Volvo Trucks has tied up with key partners to offer complete solutions when it comes to tree transplantation. One such project is already underway in partnership with Northern Coal Fields at Singrauli, Madhya Pradesh. From pre-transplant assessment and feasibility report, these defining steps will go a long way towards providing for a better future to the actual transplantation. Volvo Trucks is offering you the chance to make a difference. either as complete equipment with comprehensive sales and service, or as a complete solution, as a turnkey project where we will ensure we never lose a tree again. The complete solution package also includes post-transplant care and tree monitoring to ensure that the process is viable and successful in saving the transplanted trees, so that development and the environment go hand in hand. According to a report from the Indian Science Congress, taking into account the various benefits and resources provided by trees, from carbon sequestration to providing shelter, from control of soil erosion to preventing floods, the estimated value of a tree over 50 years is over 3.5 crore. But then again, seeing the ill effects of climate change, in today's day and age, a tree is truly invaluable. This is your chance to change the legacy you leave behind. One.
So this is on fossil fuel, you can see clearly. Fossil steel being produced from hydrogen. This is an automated guided vehicle which can go into deep mines without a driver. So these are some of the little bits which Volvo as an organization is pursuing to support the environmental cause. Same thing I talked about it, Daimler and Volvo collaborated for this common cause. So the conclusion is that the technology and innovations are there to help us basically, but they can be potentially misused also. So as we move forward, it is important to continue to monitor the impact of these technology and innovations on society and organization, and to ensure that we use it responsibly and in an ethical manner. Finally, why our market share is 94%? This is the last video, and I am stopping here. This can give you a little bit of knowing the product which has a 94% market share.
Then I stood there and I lied.
This is a 4-year-old child, Sophia. to be part of this presentation. Thank you, Ajit sir and Prestige Management for inviting me for this small session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Now is the time to call for Mr. Dewas sir with the PIMR Dewas Alumnus Award. I request Director sir to present the award. Dewas sir, please join us.
Prestige Education Foundation and Prestige Institute of Management Research are great enough to here award our own Divyansh Rastoviji, who is currently a Vice President of the Strategic Partnerships at Go Digit General Insurance Limited, is a distinguished alumnus of the Prestige Institute of Management and Research, Dewas, and through his sheer hard work, dedication and commitment, has earned profound respect and positions in several organizations. PIMR Dewas is proud to present him the Best Alumnus Award of 2023. Thank you, sir. May I have a few words?
Good evening all.
Good evening, sir.
It's an honor to be on the dais with so many eminent personalities. So I've been a Prestige and trust me, I take pride when I go out to the market. So first of all, let's get out of the fear, this language. So when I go to market, जब हम recruitment करते हैं, I recruit people from IIM, from Ford School of Management, from LBS. So the first thing which I used to think, जब मैंने शायद पहली इंटरव्यू ली थी किसी रिक्रूटमेंट के लिए, I had the same fear which I think शायद यहाँ बैठे बहुत सारे लोगों को होगा. जब हम पहली बार बोलते हैं शिट मैं देवास जैसी छोटी जगह से हूँ, प्रेस्टीज से हूँ और मैं जिसको इंटरव्यू कर रहा हूँ LBS से है, CGPA 8-9 है, but trust me I just went to the flashback और मुझे वो समय याद आया जब मैंने एंट्रेंस एग्जाम दिए, स्कोर्स आए और मेरा फर्स्ट काउंसलिंग का फर्स्ट डे था. I was excited. I went with my father to the counseling, and I thought कि सबसे बेस्ट कॉलेज ही लेना है. और वहाँ my father told me कि Prestige Dewas ऑफ कर. और मेरे लिए बड़ा मुश्किल था एक्सेप्ट करना because फर्स्ट डे है, देवास क्यों लेना है, इंदौर में इतने अच्छे इंस्टीट्यूट्स हैं. But trust me, he pushed me to take Prestige Dewas. शुरू के 6 महीने बड़े मुश्किल निकले. For me, I was introspecting की प्रॉब्लम क्या है. Is my father a miser? खर्च नहीं करना चाहते हैं, बस का किराया नहीं लगाना चाहते हैं, या फिर देवास में तो इन्फ्लुएंस करके स्कोर्स दिलवा देंगे. टिपिकल माइंडसेट. बट ट्रस्ट मी, जब कैंपस प्लेसमेंट हुई, सबसे पहली चीज थी कैंपस. जब कैंपस आया, सो जो कैंपस प्रेस्टीज देवास के लिए था, वही कैंपस सेम पैकेजेस बाकी इंस्टीट्यूट्स को भी ऑफर कर रहे थे इंदौर में. और जब मैंने ज्वाइन किया, सो इंदौर के टॉप 3 प्रेस्टीजियस इंस्टीट्यूट से जो बच्चे सिलेक्ट होके आए थे, वो 3, वहाँ के 3 लोग और मैं चारों लोग एक बैच में, एक प्रोफाइल पे, सेम पैकेज पे रिक्रूट हुए. The only thing my father used to say था कि उनकी लिखी हुई बुक्स आज की यूपी बोर्ड, पंजाब बोर्ड, हरियाणा बोर्ड, MA PhD में रेफरेंस बुक्स हैं. यूज्ड टू टेल मी कि मैं हिंदी मीडियम से पढ़ा हूँ, 25 पैसे की फीस देके. सो अगर मैं कर सकता हूँ, इफ यू वांट टू डू इट, यू कैन डू इट. इंस्टीट्यूट का ब्रांड नेम कुछ नहीं करेगा. एंड ट्रस्ट मी, लास्ट मंथ हमने IIM से कुछ लोगों को रिक्रूट किया है. पर्सनली आई डन द इंटरव्यूज, और जो CTCs ऑफर किए हैं, वो CTCs प्रेस्टीज में जो CTC ऑफर होते हैं, उससे 5-10% ऊपर भी हैं और नीचे भी हैं. दिस इज द हार्श रियलिटी. सो इट्स नॉट दैट वी आर इंफीरियर, या इंदौर या भोपाल या दिल्ली में कोई अच्छा ब्रांड है. दिस इज व्हाट वी मेक. If we take pride about our institute, the world will do this. आप मार्केट में जाइए, अगर आपको कहीं कोई बिट्स का एलुमनी दिखता है, आपको बिमटेक के एलुमनीज दिखते हैं, आपको IIMs के दिखते हैं, 10 बैच जूनियर्स भी जाके मिलते हैं, सर I am Kozhikode, I am from Calcutta, and people value it. So take pride. The topic was technology, innovation, and social transformations. I call it as innovation and technology, and then social transformations. It is not important. Consider technology as your enabler. But you need to think what you want to innovate. What is the problem you have? आपको क्या करना है? कैसे करना है? Just 2 minutes. One classic example. एक इंश्योरेंस कंपनी है मार्केट में, डिजिट इंश्योरेंस. शायद बहुत लोगों ने नाम भी नहीं सुना होगा. इंडिया की सबसे ज्यादा वैल्यूड कंपनी है. Just a 5-year-old insurance company. I'm a part of that organization. 5 साल पुरानी इंश्योरेंस कंपनी की वैल्यूएशन मार्केट की PSU कंपनी से ज्यादा है. It took us only 25 months to become a unicorn. We did a turnover of 5,000 crores in just 4 years, whereas our competition took 10 years to achieve that number of 5,000 crore gross written premium. So it's not that we did something different. We did things differently. COVID market में everyone degrew, but we grew by 40%. The reason and only reason is innovation. COVID जब आया भी नहीं था, इंडिया में कोविड नहीं शुरू हुआ था. 23rd March was the day जब लॉकडाउन हुआ था. But we were the only insurance company जिसने फरवरी में कोविड इंश्योरेंस प्रोडक्ट मार्केट में लॉन्च कर दिया था सक्सेसफुली. Much before the government of India and IIT had thought about it. That's the power of innovation. Just think, Dewas is a hub of industrialization. We are a part of prestige group. जब आप किसी बड़े ग्रुप का पार्ट होते हैं, आपके पास बहुत सारी अपॉर्चुनिटीज होती हैं. So trust me, we are a part of best institute, best faculties. जितने eminent speakers आज यहाँ आए और जिन्होंने गाइड किया है, लिंक्डइन पे जाइए, उनके बारे में पढ़िए, गूगल पे जाइए, उनके बारे में पढ़िए. देवास जैसे शहर में एक इंस्टीट्यूट आपको इतने एमिनेंट लोगों के 10 मिनट 15 मिनट दे रहा है. इट हैज वैल्यू. एवरीथिंग हैज अ कॉस्ट. नथिंग इज फ्री इन दिस वर्ल्ड. इट मे कॉस्ट यू मनी, इट मे कॉस्ट यू टाइम, इट मे कॉस्ट यू अपॉर्चुनिटी. सो गेट आउट ऑफ दिस कॉन्सेप्ट. स्टॉप थिंकिंग आप कहाँ हैं, कहाँ से हैं, क्या कर रहे हैं. इंपॉर्टेंटली आपको क्या करना है. इंडिया इज द वर्ल्ड ऑफ स्टार्टअप्स नाउ. सबसे ज्यादा स्टार्टअप्स हमारे यहाँ. 86,000 स्टार्टअप्स फंड हुए हैं इस साल. 48% स्टार्टअप्स जो है टियर 2 टियर 3 से निकले. लास्ट क्वार्टर के 72% स्टार्टअप्स टियर 3 से निकले. सो वी आर सिटिंग ऑन एन अपॉर्चुनिटी. गवर्नमेंट इज गिविंग एन अपॉर्चुनिटी, इंस्टीट्यूट इज गिविंग अस एन अपॉर्चुनिटी. ग्रैब इट. गया टाइम जेनेक्स का जेन वाई का, अब हमारा टाइम है. टेक इट, ग्रैब इट एंड एक्सेल. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
Thank you, sir. Finally, as an appreciation to our guests for their time and valuable inputs they shared with us, I request Dr. Ajit Upadhyay, sir, to present memento to Vinita Hariharan, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Now I request Vikas Sharma, sir, Yogesh Singh Rajawat, sir, to present memento to Sushant, sir. I request Neelam, ma'am, to present memento to Divyansh, sir. I invite Archana ma'am to present memento to Himanshu, sir. Thank you. Finally, I invite Bhagishri ma'am to deliver the vote of thanks.
On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to all of you for making our conference a grand success. We thank all the delegates for their active participation and valuable contribution to the conference. We hope that this conference has provided a platform for networking and knowledge sharing, and we look forward for your continued support in our future endeavors. Thank you all once again.
Please stand up for the national anthem.